Peace and love, family. Peace and love. Welcome back, TC Spiritual Shepherd. Today, I'm going to be getting into elements. Again, we're going to be getting into elements. This is a very important topic. This one specifically, this video is a very important topic that not enough people have heard, but they know about it, but they need to bring it to the forefront of their brains, their minds, when I say some of this stuff. Because a lot of this stuff has either been diluted, it's been demonized, it's been, it's been put down, it's been blacklisted, it's been all these different types of things. So we're going to get into Nikola Tesla. We're going to get into, Albert Einstein. We're going to be getting into some of these different, genuine geniuses, these, generational geniuses that we will know for generations. Okay, so I'm going to make this point clear. There is such thing as atmospheric water. There is such thing as actually pulling elements from the atmosphere, from the ether. There is a specific element that has actually been removed in the 1800s. Okay, in the 1800s, they removed this element known as ether. All right, known as ether. A-E-T-H-E-R, ether. It's also 9-ether. Okay, it's not hair. So I have hair. I have hair. The way that I look and the people that look like me, we have hair. Okay, the people who are chosen beings here, who are, and I'm not saying that you're not chosen if you're not of a specific color. Okay, what I'm saying is there are beings who are indigenously natural to be predisposed to having deeper connections with the Lord. That's just the facts. That's just the facts. It's the facts. Okay, so let's keep speaking on this. Atmospheric water. When you go outside, you are breathing air. Okay? Now you think you're just breathing air, but it's way more than that. It's actually consciousness. Okay, it's actually consciousness. What you're breathing in is consciousness. And this is what KRS-One has been, bringing to the forefront of our brains and to, the community, to the public. KRS-One says, I used to think I was just breathing air, but I'm actually breathing in consciousness, because if I were to not have this oxygen, if I were to not breathe this air or breathe this oxygen, I would lose consciousness. So it's actually consciousness that I'm breathing in. It's an elemental aspect of what consciousness is. So you can also prove that water is consciousness, because you can, dissect it and figure out all the different elemental aspects and the chemistry of it. And I'm not meant to take you to science school today. I'm just saying that you can pull water from the air with atmospheric water generators. There is such thing to this day. But it's still gate kept. All the stuff that I really talk about is going to be gate kept. It's going to be the conspiracy theories. It's going to be the out there stuff, because nobody's going to believe it, because the whole thing is everybody likes to live their normal lives. Okay. But when you actually realize what's going on and what actually is going on, you're not going to see me as crazy. You're going to be like, okay, I got to go to him for answers, because he clearly knows something that most people don't know. And that's not tooting my own horn. That's just because I've put in the freaking work. I've put in 15, 20 years of this type of stuff, I've literally, you know what I'm saying? I'm probably about 15 years. Now, there is something known as hydroelectricity. Water moving a wheel, creating electricity. There is free energy systems, a Tesla coil or Tesla tech. There's different generators, free energy generators. There's different types of things that we can create from normal, basic household items. Okay, that's why they're gate kept. Baking soda, superpower. Like it is literally a superpower, like a cleanser. Baking soda for sure. Hydrogen peroxide, superhero. It can purify you and clean you and everything. There's so many different types of things that are like $1 on the shelf. Like sugar can cure battlefield wounds. Like it can literally heal battlefield wounds. Sugar can. Okay, salt is not just of preservation. Like, there's elements that we have slept on. Specifically, I don't always like to, so I've had people tell me, don't always compare this to like movies and stuff like this, specifically things that tend to be science fiction or whatever, but I believe that they have to put it in the movies for them to get away with it, because that's how they're going to program the subconscious mind, to kind of just be like, to gaslight you out of like living that for yourself. So the whole thing about this is like, you know, in the second Iron Man, he was looking for what? He was discovering an element. He was discovering an element. We never invented electricity. We discovered electricity. Okay, ether was already on the periodic table and then taken off. Why? Because ether is the thing that created all of the different types of buildings that we cannot build to this day, that was based in the World Fair, that had other 1880, 1890, 1900 inventions, things like this, 1870 inventions right after the Civil War or during that type of period of time, because there is a whole thing like mud floods, water floods, all these different things, Tartaria. So it's all gate-kept information, because they don't want you to believe it. They need you to believe the lie. They need you to believe, like, why is everything cookie cutter nowadays? There's no ingenuity in any of our buildings. There is, because you can't build them, bro. You can't build Roman architecture nowadays. You just can't. You can't. So, like, look, I've already said you guys cannot build the Egyptian pyramids, but that goes back thousands of thousands of years before that. Okay, any of our trucks or anything cannot lift any of those different types of building blocks that made up the pyramids or anything like this. Zero. You can't build Roman architecture nowadays. They've occupied them. They stole them. They colonized it. It was already there. The White House was already there. It was already there. All of these things were already there. A lot of these things were already there from 50, 100, 200 years ago, before you were even alive, before you were ever born. And it's been gate-kept through secret societies. It's been gate-kept through, different types of people who do weird ass shit. You guys know what I'm saying? They do weird ass shit, and they try to control the masses. And why? Because we are under, not me or specific type of people, but I'm saying the global people are under a specific type of spell, until they wake up from that spell and how they've put themselves there. So, two, I'm gonna bring this home, is that human beings are no longer born. They're no longer born. They're grown. They're no longer born. They're grown. Because we're not ever brought up. We're always indoctrinated. So that is, we're grown. We're grown. We're just like chattel. We're just like cattle. Cattle, they're bred to be eaten. They're bred to be eaten. We breed them to eat them. That's it. That's all we do, is we breed them to eat them. That's disgusting. Like Lil Dicky said. But ultimately, you guys also have to see that we are born as chattel. We're born in chains. We're born as slaves until we wake up to the fact, and it's going to be way different. It's way different than what you think of traditional slavery as. It's going to be a modern day indentured voluntary servitude. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be indentured servitude, voluntary indentured servitude. Well, you volunteered to have barely minimum wage, and we're going to keep inflating the dollar. They don't explain any of the math to people. People are they're not there. So you guys have to see that there's different technologies. You can have wireless light. You guys can create wireless light. You have the availability. You created the computer. You created the iPad. Like, you didn't do it necessarily, but a human being, you still did do it. You discovered it from the ether. You discovered it from the downloads, from the imagination, from the studying, from the chemistry, from putting invention and innovation together, ingenuity and genius together, and develop something greater